Welcome students. We come to our next unit of English, that is the poem The People Upstairs. It is in unit 5 section C of your English literature textbooks. The People Upstairs by Ogden Nash is basically a poem which delves into the poet's interpretation of what's going on in the apartment above his own. Talking about Ogden Nash, he was born in 1902 and died in 1971. He is basically a US citizen. His works mostly depicted his dismay at the American or modern way of life. He criticized many things through his witty verses, and for this he is very famous. Now, talking about the poem itself, the poet is frustrated with his noisy neighbors, and throughout the 12 lines of this poem, he describes what it sounds like from his very own floor. Now, the The theme of the poem is basically that the poet, despite his irritation, the mood is upbeat and entertaining. The guesses of the poet are funny, but at the same time, they are very apt descriptions of what miscellaneous noise from the other floors can sound like. He tries to capture it in a very humorous and natural manner. Talking about the poetic devices used over here. The first thing that we find over here is the rhyming scheme. We see that the last words in each line are the same. That is, the rhyming scheme of the poem basically is AA, BB, CC, DD, EE, and so on. The other poetic device that we find over here is metaphor. Metaphor is basically, as we all know, a comparison between two unlike things that does not use like or as. We can find two examples as depicted on the screen itself. Now, the next poetic device that we have over here is alliteration. What do you understand by alliteration? Alliteration occurs when words are used in succession or at least appear close together and begin with the same sound. As we can see, week, week, that is WW. Also, in the 8th line, we have another example with sublime and stick. Now, to the poem. What does the poem actually mean? What does the poet actually want to convey? Over here, in the first 5 lines, the poet what he wants to convey is, in the first 5 lines, the poet says that it seems as if the people upstairs, that is in the floor above his own apartment, they practice ballet. Ballet is, as we all know, a dance form. He says that it looks as if they are bowling practice in their living room. That is bowling alley. Alley is basically a long, narrow area. So he compares the bowling alley to their own living room. He also says that they seem that in their own room they take conducted tours or guided tours. He also says that their radio is much louder than what his own is. And they seem to be having an extended weekend. That is, for them, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All are the same because they are partying or celebrating on every day. They do not have any difference or any specification for having a party. He says that the upstairs neighbors don't seem to be annoying their downstairs neighbors on purpose, but they do so anyway. In addition to the noise, there is also the speaker hears their noisy parties and feels as though the guests are jumping around on pogo sticks. It is the only explanation for the racket. Even when he thinks that the party is ending and maybe there will be some peace and quiet, it starts up again. The guests depart and residents go to the bathroom on roller skates. Even though the speaker is irritated by the situation, he doesn't say it outrightly angrily. He admits that he'd love the people upstairs more if they lived somewhere other than above him. This is a somewhat pleasing conclusion to an amusing poem. Thank you.